Yum, yum, dinner time. Breakfast, Busty. Mmm, yummy, yummy. Buster, come on. Now it's time to join Peter Neville, who's got a story about an animal who also likes his food, but in this case, a little too much.
An ordinary weekday afternoon in an ordinary home in Bristol, and Vicky McCarthy is leaving to pick up the kids from school. But, as we're about to find out, when the kids come home from school, this is anything but an ordinary household, because Minnie the dog behaves in an extraordinary way. Living in the human den involves adhering to some of the human rules, and Minnie and many other dogs really fail to learn some of our rules, or some of our house rules, when they're young. And as a result, things like jumping up, jumping on the table, stealing food and so on can become really annoying by the time they're older, and very much more difficult to treat. Minnie's problem is that she just can't stop stealing food, and the family have no control over her.
When the children, we're sitting down having our tea, or any meal really, and she'll jump up and take something. And sometimes she'll even get up on the table and sit there. It's cooking with the frying pan, and she actually jumped up and tried to take something out of the frying pan while it was on the gas, so it is a bit worrying.
Okay, so she's quite food-oriented, and OK, we could say, well, keep her out of the kitchen when you're making hot things, but presumably she creates a bit of a fuss, does she?
Yeah, well, really, wherever I am, she is, so I really was at the end of my tether.
This is a little exploding cap banger device.
Right.
And what we see here is one of these little exploding caps put onto the pin here, and we cock that like that. And we place this under a biscuit on the table. The pressure of the biscuit on top holds it in place, and when Minnie comes along and tries to steal the biscuit, the spring is released. Okay. So we've got a right mess here where your kids have been and eaten and gone. And we're going to place this under the biscuit there and leave Minnie to come in and do what she normally does, which is hoover up on the table. And hopefully she'll get a bit of a bang that goes off.
And it won't hurt her, she won't...
No, it won't hurt her. We've checked her heart's fine and her temperament's fine. When she comes down, because it will be a bit of a surprise to her, call her to you, and you're the good guy, you're the reassurance again, okay?
Right.
So you must always be the good person. This is nothing to do with you, it's purely to do with her own behaviour. Okay. Okay, then we'll get right out of the way.
Good girl, there. Good girl.
What you have to do is two things. One is be consistent, so don't let her jump up 1 minute and then use the disc the next. But also be really good on your timing and really ebullient with your rewards. Really make a fuss of her when she does what you want her to do. All right?
Okay.
A little work.
Good Minnie, good girl, good girl.
OK, Peter, we have a letter here from Bristol, from Hannah Griffin of Horfield, and she says that my dog is lovely and he loves going out to the park for walks. The problem is that whenever we stop to talk to someone or for a drink or something in a cafe, my dog starts whining. He gets louder and louder and just won't stop. What should we do to stop him whining? It's annoying.
I think there's a sort of reasonable suspicion here that perhaps the lady's talking a bit too long when the dog's getting bored. So, if in a park, let him off the lead.
What are you saying?
Well, dogs can get fed up like the rest of us. I mean, they don't know what's going on, do they? But there's two things. I think probably the easiest way to go about it is to teach the dog to speak on command, which is very easy. You hold a titbit in front of their face and you withhold it, don't give it to them. And eventually they'll bark. And as soon as they bark, you give it to them and attach a word to it, speak or bark or whatever. And when you've taught them that, you then teach them the shush command, which is immediately after the bark, they're silent. So you say shush, and you give them a little tidbit for being quiet. And once they've learned that, you can then apply the bark or the shush with much more effect in situations like this. So when you're next out and the dog starts to get a bit barky and a bit whiny, your shush actually does mean shush, and there's a reward for being quiet.
I've got a letter here from Mrs. Wilson in Somerton in Somerset, and she says she's got a problem with her cat. When she's in a hurry to go out, sometimes she can't find the cat, so she has to leave him in, and they don't have a cat flap because they have glass doors. And sadly, when she comes home, sometimes the cat's done a whoopsie on her bed, which is obviously not very nice. She says that her dog, when he gets caught short, he goes by the back door. So why does the cat always use my bed? What can she do about that?
Nasty problem. What this isn't is a house training problem. This cat is well house trained. What it is a security problem. Cats are territorial, but the owners play a very important part in the security of the home. And when the owners go out, he feels very vulnerable. And what he's doing is marking, by using messy stuff, really to associate his smell with his owner's smell where it's most strong, on the bed, on the armchairs and so on.
So the obvious answer is to shut the bedroom door for a start.
For sure, that's an easy way round. But you've still got this problem of his not feeling too happy when they've gone. And I think the best approach is to try and find something like a warm utility room where you can put his own bed and he can have his own feelings of security, and then he won't engage in this sort of marking behaviour. Or perhaps you can find that sort of environment outside, a nice warm shed with a nice warm draft-proof bed, and he'll be happy there. That's the important thing, to keep him happy.
If you have any comments on the programme or a problem for Peter Neville, please write to People and Pets, HGV Community Unit, 13 Midland Road, Bristol, BS2 OJT.
That's it for this week's People and Pets. I hope you've enjoyed the programme. Do you know, all these bubbles reminded me that in next week's programme we'll be meeting a couple of ladies who have converted their garage, turned it into a jacuzzi, not for themselves, but for dogs. To find out more, watch next week. See you then.